Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Nigel Oxley and this is What to Watch. And today we're going to be reviewing this, the Tudor Black Bay GMT. Now you might be wondering to yourself, this watch was launched in 2018, so why are we reviewing it now? Well, there's a very good reason for that. So bear with me and we'll find out. Cue the sexy B-roll montage. Okay, so before we take a closer look at this Black Bay GMT, I just want to give you a quick review as to where the channel's at. The channel's been going for about 3 months now, and I want to thank everyone that's subscribed and everyone that's watched any of the videos. We're heading to around about 400 subscribers, and so far we've had around about 18,000 views on the channel. So thank you very much for that. It's incredible, and thank you so much. But here's where my little plea comes in. So far, the channel has attracted 13,000 different viewers. And if just 10% of you watching this or any of my other videos subscribed, then YouTube would start paying me for doing this, and that would really help me out. So do me a favor, go and subscribe to the channel, be the 10% that I need. I'll do you a deal. If you subscribe, then I promise that I'll keep working hard and I will keep making better content for all you guys to watch. Okay, so on to the real reason why you're here, the Black Bay GMT. Now firstly, you might be thinking, why review this now? This watch was launched 4 years ago, and that's a good question. Well, when this watch was launched 4 years ago, there was a huge wait list to buy one new, and the second-hand or grey market value was above the RRP. Well, now it's the end of 2022, and that situation has totally changed. These are readily available to buy at all Tudor retailers, and there are some great deals to be had second-hand on these. So now would be a great time to buy if you've had your eye on one after all these years. So let's take a closer look at this. What we're going to do is go through the following: the dimensions and the wearability, the case, the dial, the hands, the bezel and the crystal, the bracelet and the clasp, the movement, the watch as a value proposition, and then finally a pros and cons section to sum it up. And in this instance, I'm going to go through the whole video without comparing this to its bigger brother, the Rolex GMT Master 2. Just to give this watch review based on this watch's own merits, as I think that's what this watch deserves. To the dimensions. Question is this watch too big? Well, I have to admit, before I went into my local dealer, this was my fear, and I was unsure about how well it would wear. The dimensions are as follows. It's a 41mm case, 15mm high, and 50mm lug to lug. To give you an idea, I have a 6¼ inch wrist, and this is how it wears on my wrists. Sure, it's on the large side, but it's certainly not uncomfortable, and definitely has wrist presence. The wide lug width certainly helps to balance out the size of the case. The case itself is incredible, made from stainless steel and has a mixture of satin, brushed and polished surfaces that all work really well together to make this watch look and feel contemporary while also capturing the vintage vibe that all Black Bay models do so well. The perfectly coloured aluminium bezel, unguarded crown and rivets on the bracelet are all features that sound inferior on paper, yet all somehow work together to define the style of the watch. The finishing on the edge of the bezel, the crown and the case back are all perfectly matched, even though you probably won't see them all together at the same time. It's details like this that I think really help finish this watch off perfectly. The dial is matte black and domed and has large white applied indices, a white triangle at 12, rectangular bars at 6 and 9, and simple date window at the 3 o'clock position. Of course the hands are snowflake and large, and the GMT hand reaches all the way out to that GMT Pepsi style bezel. The branding and text is just enough, I think, without cluttering the dial and taking your eyes away from the functionality. The dial features the Shield logo, whereas the signed crown features the Tudor Rose, which I think are both perfect for their position on the watch. The crystal is a domed sapphire, which again works so well with the vintage and retro styling of the watch, which is a common theme throughout the Black Bay line. The bracelet is weighty, and don't misunderstand this, it's a compliment. It means that the watch doesn't feel too heavy or unbalanced. Yes, it's wide at 21mm, but again that works nicely with how big the case is. The finishing on the bracelet is as good as the case, again with a mixture of brushed and polished edges. As you would expect at this price point, it has solid end links and a milled clasp. And the clasp itself is a thing of joy. It feels solid. With its double locking fold over design, it never feels anything but secure on wrist. And when locked, you get the Shield logo again looking up at you as you turn your wrist. It also features 3 holes of micro adjustment, meaning you can get the perfect fit. My recommendation will be that if you are going to buy this watch, get it on the bracelet and look to add leather or NATO options down the line. Personally for me, I think the most impressive thing about this watch is the in-house MT5652 movement. This is a true GMT rather than an office or caller GMT found in most GMT watches at this price point, meaning that if you land in a new country, you can move the hour hand independently to the new time zone without stopping the watch. And using the bidirectional bezel, you can track an extra time zone. Using the same method you just used to change the time on your new time zone, you can also change the date, both forward and backward if your flight has taken you either forward or backward a day. It also has a 70-hour power reserve and full COSC certification. One of the other reasons I bought this, as I'll be using this as a traveller watch, as maybe a one-stop shop for holidays or vacations, it needs to be a fully capable diver, which it is at 200 meters of water resistance. And then remember at the beginning of the video, I asked why I was doing this review now, 4 years down the line. I said that firstly, these are available at nearly all ADs for you to walk in and walk out with. Well, this is true, and I've heard rumours that nearly a 10% price rise in 2023. So if you want a new one, now's the time to do it before £3,300 becomes £3,630 in the new year, which is still excellent value for what you're getting. But the real value here now lies in the second-hand market. On eBay, here in the UK, these are currently selling from between £2,000 to £2,500, making this an incredible value watch for what will perform remarkably, look good doing it, and last a lifetime. So let's wrap this up with some pros and cons. Firstly, the pros. It looks incredible with true vintage styling helped by the unguarded crown, domed sapphire crystal, aluminium Pepsi bezel and the riveted bracelet. It has a true GMT movement that is in-house and punches way above its weight for the price point. It's very practical with its 70-hour power reserve and 200 meters of water resistance, and an excellent value offering with its heritage, technical specification and current pricing in the market. And then the cons. I really struggled here, as the things I have listed as cons are not an issue for me, but I know split opinion, so I've included them for fairness. It is a big watch, and although I enjoy its presence on wrist, some people would not agree. My advice here is to go and see what it looks like on your wrist. The good thing here is that you'll be able to find one in most high streets or shopping malls to go to and get hands on with one. And the other con is the riveted bracelet. I happen to like them. I think they work really well with the overall feel of the watch. But if this is a deal breaker for you, either go and buy one without the bracelet on leather or NATO, or swap it out for one of the aftermarket Forstner or Uncle Seiko Jubilee bracelets that are now available for this watch. So 4 years on, down the line after the launch of this watch, my question to you is there a better GMT watch on the market for this price point? Let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and remember, if you're ever struggling for what to watch, just keep an eye out for another one of my videos. See you next time.